Hey you guys, it's Randy Hatada again here in Las Vegas representing Xpand Realty and Property Management. And I'm here to talk to you more about Las Vegas, the Ninth Island, and most importantly, our housing market. Well, what's going on? What's going on with housing? What's going on with prices? Are people buying? Are people selling? Are investors back in? What's going on with the hedge funds? Well, guess what? I got answers for you today. So let's go over where we are temperature-wise. And right now, things are still pretty cold here in Las Vegas, and allergies and colds are on the rise. So be careful out there. I know a lot of people that are recovering from colds, the common cold. And just a note, I just looked up the CDC website, and if you're affected with COVID, there is no longer a CDC COVID protocol, is what I saw. And if you're diagnosed with COVID, then you just go on as if you would a regular cold. So I found that very interesting. Hopefully everything about COVID's in the past, but I thought I'd share because to me it's a big deal when CDC changes the rules to engagement, knowing where we've been and what we've been through, right? So back to allergies and colds. So a lot of people are getting sick, and it's been pretty short colds, but something to be aware of. And more common than even colds, people have been suffering from really bad allergies. I mean, when I say bad, I mean like worse in the last 2, 3, 5 years bad. And I think it's twofold. One is that the temperature and the climate change, rolling into spring, creates a lot of pollen. And then number two, it is the heavy winds we've been experiencing. And so last week, we've experienced one of the heaviest winds that we've seen in a very long time locally. And to give you scale, I have one of those, not permanent, but heavy-duty tents in my backyard. The kind that people would, put their cars underneath and all that with the heavy frames. The long story short is that thing blew about 20 yards away, and I found it in a tree. So that's how strong the winds have been. I have pictures from the last post in Instagram and all that of the windstorm that I passed through coming back from California. And that's the climate we're in. It's been hot, cold, wind, no wind, wind, no wind. And with that, people have been suffering from allergies, again, heavy allergies. And a little note, because the medicines or allergy meds that I've taken in the past have not been working or haven't been strong enough for what my body's been experiencing, my doctor did prescribe a Kenalog shot for me and recommend that, and I took it. I'm not sure if it's working, but I do feel better, and maybe I feel a lot worse. Should I not have took it? But we'll see. But that might be a solution if you're really suffering, because beyond the regular symptoms, I mean, it really felt like, and I've talked to a few friends about this, and they had the same symptoms. Beyond the sinus and all that, it was really the eyes that people are suffering from, and to the point where it felt like almost needles penetrating your eyes, that, allergies were affecting us so bad. So that's the negative side of things. The positive side is that Lee Canyon and Mount Charleston still is full of snow. So if you like skiing, snowboarding, go and visit that. Have your fun out there while you can. At the same time, which is pretty ironic, but a lot of people are still playing sports. Baseball, the UNLV team has been on a winning streak, and they've started their season this year. If you haven't gone and watched UNLV baseball, it's something you probably want to do. Because not only do they have a good team this year, but I think it's only don't quote me on this, but about $20 to watch a game. And it's really fun. And if you go there, here's a secret. You go and order the, I don't know what the word for it is, but there's a bucket or a bowl of chips that they deep fry. And it's probably just sliced up potatoes, but it's homemade, full of cheese and all the good stuff on it. And it's something that you probably want to try because that's what they're known for over at that UNLV ballpark. So little note to you guys, little secret, go check that out. I know Aviators are also playing, so go check them out. They're our Las Vegas minor league team. And since we're talking about sports and baseball, I don't want to call them the Oakland A's. I'm going to call them the Las Vegas Athletics, because they are coming to Las Vegas, and they're going to be opening their awesome new ballpark right on the premises or the lot of the Tropicana Casino, and the historic Tropicana Casino is being imploded. So if you guys are in town, I would highly recommend going and checking out the Tropicana Casino, maybe taking a few selfies or whatever it is, because it won't be there very soon. The Athletics ballpark renderings, it is amazing. Kind of reminds me of the Sydney Opera amphitheater look. Pretty sophisticated, pretty sleek. If they actually do it, it's going to be pretty amazing out there. So it's a kind of like a indoor-outdoor covered field, but just go check out my Instagram if you really want to see the rendering. It's all over the place on social media, or if you look up our local review journal, there's a whole article about that. F1 is they're coming back to Las Vegas, so that's huge. A lot of money's come to town, a lot of fast cars, obviously, and it's a big deal for the Strip. And also, there's talks about trying to bring the Super Bowl back because it did so well. So whether it's just talk or whether that's a real idea that may come to life, we'll find out. But that's the word on the street. Other than that, the tourism is up, occupancy is up. If you're looking to stay here in Vegas and you're out of town, make sure to book early, because again, occupancy is very, very high, and it's in the 90 plus percentile. The speed train is going to be constructed, and it's coming in from Los Angeles and gonna end near the outlet malls on South Las Vegas Boulevard. So real estate wise, hint hint, that might affect your real estate for good or for worse. You be the choice of that. But there's a lot going on in South Las Vegas. And since we're on the topic of South Las Vegas, I'll share with you that I might not have shared this before, but from the South Point Hotel to the M Casino, all in between there is going to be deemed the South Strip. It's already deemed the South Strip. It's not that popular of a name because there's only two casinos, the beginning of the M. Again, it's the South Point and the M. But what you might not know is that they're going to fill in all between those two casinos with probably more casinos or timeshares. And the reason is that the land, is zoned for gaming, which means it's very expensive. And the only, in my opinion, businesses that can afford that is casinos or timeshares. So it's probably going to be built out. That South Strip will be similar to a strip-like road. Right now we have the downtown strip, if you will. We have the regular strip as you know it on Las Vegas Boulevard, and then we're going to have the South Strip. So that's coming, and because there's a lot of land, and that's one of the final frontiers for Las Vegas to build residential and commercial land, there's a lot of development out there. So if you have interest in real estate and looking to relocate or purchase, that's an area that I would highly recommend checking out. It is functionally sound, near everything that you need to probably get to, including the airport, UNLV, and the Strip. And again, the trains coming through, there's going to be a lot of casinos, and also they plan on building an entertainment facility, a major entertainment facility, on the south side as well, South Las Vegas Boulevard. And that should be the home of the future potential NBA expansion team. So there you go. That's a lot going on, and I share all this because it does affect a lot of our residential real estate in aspect to location and value. So that's something that maybe you want to take a note of if you're in the market of buying or selling, for that matter. Now, getting into the numbers, let's get into the meat and potatoes of probably why you're here. Everything we talked about last market update has come to life, and there's no surprises on what the numbers look like today, but I'm going to share them with you to let you know where we are, and that so far our projections have been pretty accurate. So last month, and we're looking at January numbers when I say last month, because it's always the lagging month that we get data from. So January numbers, we had 1479 units, so just shy of 1,500 sales in single-family residence. Well, that rose quite a bit. It rose 417 sales, making units sold for February just shy of 1,900 sales. That's a huge number. It's a big increase considering the total amount of sales. And what does that mean? That means that the market's heating up. It's getting really hot, hotter than our temperature, that's for sure. And when a market gets hot, what happens? What happens, guys? Prices go up. And with that, hope you got that question right, by the way. Prices go up. So our median price point in January was $445,000, and it went up $15,000, you guys, to $460,000. So, you know, if this trajectory continues, you know, we're going to be above the 460,000 mark as far as a median price point. So buyers, this is something to majorly think about. I shared in another podcast and short that we put out there that we looked at a graph that said that 83% of our buyers were not super comfortable or didn't think it was the best buyer's market to buy in last month. So if 83% of our buyers felt it wasn't the right market, and we closed 1,900 sales, and that was 417 more sales from the month before, and our inventory shrinking, guys, what's going to happen when interest rates dip and we get the buyer confidence, right? What's going to happen with supply and demand? What's going to happen with the numbers we're talking about? I mean, that's the real discussion, right? Where are we going? Where are we headed? And where are we today? Well, let's continue to go over where we are today. And today we have 2,533 new listings. That's up 100 new listings from the month before January. So new listings have gone up. So more sellers are putting their homes for sale. However, units available is shrinking because units sold is so high. So units available, January was 3,551. It dropped by about 80 units available, making the total 3,471 units available, or single families available, which when you break it down to saturation rate or effective availability, we have dipped to a 1.8 month supply of inventory from a 2.4 month supply of inventory. That's a major swing. I mean, over half a month supply less on the market, even with more listings coming up. What does that mean, guys? If prices and demand is going up and supply is going down, what's going to happen, right? I'll let you figure that one out, because I think you already know the answer to that. Consult your realtor, buyers, even sellers, because this is the discussion you need to have, right? If you're thinking or in the market to buy or sell your property. And it also affects rental property as well. And when our supply is low and prices are going up, that means investors aren't buying as much property, which means that our investment pool is not increasing by very much. And on the flip side, it's probably shrinking based on the units sold and new listings, because a lot of them probably are investors, which means that supply is lessening, demand is probably the same, which means that maybe rental prices might rise in the future. So renters, be aware of what's going on, but that's where we are with that. And we will go over some rental numbers if we have time on this podcast, if not the trailing podcast, which will come up very shortly. So that's where we are. Condos, should we talk about condos? Yeah, I think we should talk about condos. Condos and townhomes. Condos and townhomes are super popular, you guys. So why are condos popular? Condos are popular because, one, there's probably less responsibility as a homeowner. Condos definition is owning the air between the walls, and thus you don't own the building and the land. Thus, there's less maintenance and liability for you to keep up with, homeowners. And with that being said, it is also the lowest price piece of real estate that you can purchase, which means that it's in high demand. Townhomes is in super high demand. Why? It's because it's the happy medium between a condo and a single family, but it's probably the most efficient product on the market when it comes to multiple people living together or a family, because it can facilitate that need. It also normally has a yard and whatnot, or you do own the land most of the time with a townhome. So that hybrid model is super popular, which makes it the lowest priced product we have in the market for a lot of people living together, that condos don't accommodate, right? So townhomes are super popular. Now, when you condense condo and townhomes, that's what we'll be going over, the condo townhome market. And when we talk about units sold, we talked about the single families units sold going up and a lot of transactions being done and realtors being super busy. Well, condos and townhomes follow the same trend. Our average, our median price went up as well, right? It kind of follows. And our median price is up to $283,000, which is about $8,000 higher than the month before, which showed a median price of $275,000. New listings went up to 738 new listings. That's 43 more listings than January. What has changed is units available. Our inventory is still actually, our inventory went up a little. It went up by 24 units, so not much change. We have 1160 units available as far as condos and townhomes. However, our effective availability, saturation rate, our month supply actually went down. And we went from a 2.4 month supply in January to a 2.2 month supply of inventory in February. Now, going back to a lot of our housing updates, a healthy market here in Las Vegas, a balanced market, if you will, buyer and seller, is about a 3-month supply of inventory. So for our single families to be at 1.8 and our condo townhome market to be at 2.2 month supply, what does that mean? That means our supply is low, our demand is high, and if this continues, prices will continue to climb. I won't talk about interest rates just because that's fluctuating so much. But with that, they're still a little bit on the higher side, and that's the only thing, in my opinion, holding the buyers back from exploding this market. Because in my opinion, if interest rates do dip at least a point from where it's at, this Las Vegas market is going to go crazy. And let me rephrase what I said earlier. This market is already crazy, guys. We are busy out there. We're busy representing sellers and buyers. So our real estate market is literally on fire. And it's just the beginning of spring. And if you guys follow real estate and real estate trends, spring tends to be the hottest market of the entire year. So we'll find out what March brings, but we have very high hopes that March is going to be a very, very prosperous year as far as transactions and sales here in Las Vegas. And so I would highly encourage you to ask your questions, because that's where our content will come from, just addressing your questions, concerns, because we're here to add value to the universe. Really, we're here to add value to you guys. Yeah, I know I'm a little corny, but what the heck. My friend that's helping me record this video says corny is funny, corny is popular. So I'm going to roll with it because I'm cheesy like Chester Cheetah. Other than that, everything is selling right now that are in decent shape and priced well. So if you guys are in the market to sell, just keep in mind that sales have been doing very well. And the good listings in the average price points and under have been going in a week, guys. Not even a week have they been on the market before they have multiple offers and have been going into escrow. As far as the new builds, a lot of them do not have the inventory for the demand out there. So even with the new builds, be careful, because I know for a fact that a lot of the new builds are raising prices and taking away incentives. And I would strongly recommend using a realtor if you don't have a realtor. I know a good one, and we have a team here to also help represent your best interest, even in new builds, you guys, because there's a lot that we know behind closed doors and with our ears to the ground that you may not know about a builder. So we would love to educate you on that, help you actually negotiate with builders, and hopefully get you a better deal. But again, just beware, because prices for new builds are going up and incentives are going down. So keep that in mind. I will share a couple notes that a lot of builders are doing a 3-to-1 strategy with incentives. And what that means is that the builders that are still offering incentives, let alone commissions, are offering 3% to buyer's closing costs if you're an owner occupant. Sometimes they're offering 2% if it's a second home, and down to 1%, if any, for investors. So they're favoring owner occupants. If you're an owner occupant, I would highly recommend you take advantage of that. And the one caveat to that is that a lot of the builders, for you to get the incentive, you have to use their lender. And if you're already working with a lender, I would cross-reference the numbers that share with you from the preferred lenders from new developments, to make sure you're comparing apples and apples, and that your incentive is a true incentive versus something that's being built into your mortgage, which is not a true incentive. You're actually paying for it. So be careful with that. If you didn't understand that, go back and watch this part of the video and share that with your lender, because they'll be able to explain exactly what I'm talking about. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. We'll continue to give you updates and anything else that you guys want to know about. Again, I highly encourage you to comment below so that we know what you guys are looking for and we can address that need. Again, our goal as a person, as a company, as a person, as a representation of good faith of Las Vegas, we'd love to add value to you and address a lot of those questions and concerns again. And I guess if you're going to do that, I would start with just subscribing to our channel. Yeah, a little bit of a commercial, but we need your support for us to continue doing this, and it's a big deal to us. So we appreciate when you punch that subscribe button and like this video, and most importantly, comment, so that we have content that adds value to you guys. You guys have a great day. Take care. Take your vitamins and beware of that dust. See you later. Take care.